memang tidak bisa dimainkan, tetapi Wenger mencoba menurunkan pemain-pemain yang energik. Buktinya formasi sedikit dirubah, 4-3-2-1 bukan 4-2-3-1. Dan Ramsey adalah 3 pemain yang dimaksimalkan untuk menghadang serangan Milan yang akan dibangun dari setiap lini.
Ya, sementara ini merupakan minute of silence untuk mengenang Davide Astori ya. Sementara ini kita lihat bagaimana substitute dari kedua tim. Pemain-pemain ini masih menjadi andalan, kita lihat pemirsa, dan sekarang dalam menit. Ya, baru saja kita lihat minus film untuk mengenang dan juga menghormati Davide Astori, pemain yang juga pernah bermain di tim junior AC Milan. Sementara para pemain sudah dalam posisi masing-masing. Pemirsa, inilah dia pertandingan antara AC Milan menghadapi Arsenal, dan kami dari studio mengucapkan selamat menyaksikan.
Derby is not staged properly, so with thoughts of everybody with Davide Astori. Underway then in what should be a terrific game, certainly a terrific atmosphere already inside this famous old ground. It's the 7th meeting. The previous 6 it's been one team winning 2, drawing 2 and losing 2, so they're pretty level pegging at the moment. The only time Arsenal have won away here was in the Champions League in 2008 by 2-0. As Rodriguez, the Swiss international left back, unable to keep the ball in play. He is under pressure and loses it, and it's Cutrone, the young striker, coming forward, trying to launch the first attack for Milan, and Slobodan Mustafi is across to concede the game's first corner. Ramsey felt he'd been fouled there. The referee said no. Cutrone, who's been in such good form with 12 goals this season, looking to set one up there. And Mustafi provided the defensive cover. Calhanoglu takes the corner. It's well defended by Arsenal. It was Danny Welbeck who got the clearing header, and then a bit of a miscue there from Calabria. Koscielny to clear, back in it comes. Arsenal under early pressure here as Koscielny tangles with Patrick Cutrone. It's another corner to the home side. Early problems for Arsene Wenger, who has been the subject of dissent amongst the Arsenal fans, it's fair to say. Second corner to Milan. Almost met at the near post by Franck Kessié, the Ivorian player. Back in it comes again! It was flicked on at the near post. There was a stretch by Bonaventura, and he couldn't quite get the touch that he needed to put his side in front. Arsenal haven't been defending well of late, it's fair to say. And they were almost caught out there again. Bonaventura not quite able to get a touch, but Milan have a third corner. Bonucci is among those up there. Again, it's well back clear, but not quite as emphatically this time. It'll come out to Mkhitaryan. The home crowd are encouraged by what they're seeing at the moment from the way their team have started. Calabria with the ball forward. That one's dealt with, but still it's inside Arsenal territory. Rodriguez. little touch by Halkanoglu, less so though by Bonaventura. And Mkhitaryan has it for Arsenal, goal scorer of course in the Europa League final last season when Manchester United beat Ajax. Suso plays it infield. Arsenal haven't got on the ball at all as yet. Here's Rodriguez, it's not going to reach him though. Finally Arsenal have it at their feet. And that's a decent break down the right-hand side by Callum Chambers, who plays it in towards Danny Welbeck, who's not able to get control of the ball. It's away to safety by Calabria. This is Sead Kolasinac, who's got a couple of goals in this competition this season, including the one that spared their blushes against Östersunds, or at least in terms of the aggregate score, spared their blushes. They ended up losing that game, but going through on aggregate. But for a while, they were in danger of going out to the Swedish minnows. And there's Granit Xhaka, international teammate of Ricardo Rodriguez, the AC Milan left full-back. This is Özil. Break by Kolasinac, 1-2 with Mkhitaryan. Kolasinac into the box, it's scooped away by Bonucci, and here's Kessié. And now Suso, former Liverpool player for a short spell. Suso. There's an Arsenal player down prostrate on the ground. The referee's allowing play to continue, but has finally blown his whistle so that he can receive a little bit of treatment. It's Callum Chambers who's in the wars. And despite their recent woes, Arsenal have a good recent away record in Europe. They've won 5, and 6 away. They just collided into Hakan Çalhanoğlu, the Turkish international midfield player. Arsenal are going to have to be wary of conceding free kicks in and around the penalty area, because Çalhanoğlu is an absolute expert from set pieces. Chambers is back on his feet. Gennaro Gattuso has worked wonders since taking over from Vincenzo Montella in November, although he did lose his first Europa League game as Milan coach against Rijeka. But they recovered to top the group. Disposed fairly comfortably of Ludogorets. Arsenal had rather more difficulty against Östersunds. I think it's fair to say that Arsenal were keen to avoid AC Milan in the draw, but it was unkind to them. Here's Rodriguez. Well, that's given away cheaply by Bilia. Danny Welbeck has it for Arsenal. Xhaka forward to Mkhitaryan, loses it. Scraped away by and now Kessié driving through midfield. It's a strong run by the Ivorian. No foul, says Clement Turpin. Here's Ramsey, and now Welbeck, and Davide Calabria, the 21-year-old right back, did his job there. Laurent Koscielny, who scored against AC Milan in an extraordinary tie in the Champions League 6 years ago, when Milan won the home leg 4-0, and then Arsenal won the leg at their ground by 3-0. Couldn't quite complete the comeback. Koscielny was on target then. Here's Özil, early chance for Arsenal. Jack Wilshere, Mkhitaryan to the side netting from the Armenian, but that was better from Arsenal. Nice interplay between Özil and Wilshere, but not in the end sufficient to test the still teenage Gianluigi Donnarumma. The other end, here comes Suso. It's found a way through here. Oh, he's just over have done it with the final touch and it's gone out of play. Suso made 21 appearances and scored 1 goal for Arsenal's Premier League rivals Liverpool. Noise has been incessant inside this ground as AC Milan look to extend a 13-match unbeaten run. Although I don't think Arsene Wenger would mind too much if it's extended with a draw. Arsenal would consider that to be a very good result. Here's Wilshere, and now Ozil, and now Mkhitaryan. The whistle's blown, I think. No, it hasn't. It must have been from the crowd. Mkhitaryan carries on. It's a nice ball into Kolasinac. Good cover provided by Ilya. Suso. It's a nice ball to open things up. Rodriguez has got a lot of space here. He's also got Calhanoglu up in front of him. Rodriguez is continuing his run. Forward by Bonucci. Might reach Cutrone, but he's still going to try and chase, and Arsenal have given it away. And here's Calhanoglu. And Cutrone! I like Mkhitaryan at the other end. He's found the side netting as well. It was careless from Arsenal. Ball given away by Mustafi. And then flicked into the space in front of Cutrone. It was a rather curious effort off the toe of his right boot. It didn't trouble David Ospina, who continues to be preferred in this competition at least to Petr Cech. He played in the League Cup final for Arsenal when they were well beaten by Manchester City. 2 defeats against City form half of the 4 games that Arsenal have lost recently, the others being at home to Östersund in this competition and at Brighton in the league at the weekend. AC Milan, by contrast, competitive fixture on penalties against Lazio to get into the Coppa Italia final where they'll face Juventus. There's Mkhitaryan trying to find Welbeck. Squirts back to Granit Xhaka. Mustafi. Ozil. Chambers, good move from Arsenal. Ramsey gets it into the box towards Welbeck. Handball cry the Italian fans. The referee's unmoved. Trone trying to win it back. Here's Wilshere though, over the top towards Welbeck. That's a nice, neat covering header by Alessio Romagnoli. So we'll just flick it back to his grateful goalkeeper Gianluigi Donnarumma, whose brother Antonio is on the bench today. Now then, Calhanoglu going over Ospina. Some of the home crowd are hoping for a penalty there, but I don't think there was any contact between goalkeeper and striker. Let's have a look here. No. It's a good decision by the French referee. Calhanoglu with a heavy first touch, and he knew it wasn't a penalty. I think he was hoping for one. Has been there and done it with both AC Milan and Italy, a Champions League winner, a Serie A winner, a World Cup winner as well. There were a few scratched heads when he took over in November. He's not the most placid of characters, but he has had a galvanising effect on AC Milan since then. They're unlikely, rather like Arsenal, to qualify for the Champions League via their domestic competition. Currently 8 points away from a Champions League berth. So this competition, as Manchester United proved last season, can be a very useful means of getting into the Champions League. Here's Rodriguez for Milan. Calhanoglu. Kessié. again, trying to squeeze it through towards Cutrone. It's up back in the hands of Ospina. Served a penalty for Tom Pedersen in the first leg against Östersunds. Proved crucial in the end as Östersunds went 2-0 up at the Arsenal Stadium, and had that penalty gone in, it would have been 3-3. Here's Kolasinac, caught by Calabria, who did well. Flicked away by Lukas Bilia. Here's Suso. Given away though by Bilia this time. Ozil over the top, clever ball. Mkhitaryan into the box, shoots, goal! Arsenal have the lead. Henrik Mkhitaryan with a deflected shot. Flew past Donnarumma, who knew little about it. And Henrik Mkhitaryan gets his first Europa League goal since he scored one in the final for Manchester United last season. And it could be a goal that eases the pressure on Arsene Wenger. Well, it was set up initially, and Mkhitaryan just drove infield. It took a big flick off Bonucci on the way through. It was a clean strike and a fierce strike, but the deflection helped him, and Gattuso finds his team behind. Well, they're not used to losing, AC Milan, but they're behind here. Rodriguez. AC Milan will have to come from behind, and Arsenal have a crucial away goal. Bonucci forward. Well, the crowd continue to get behind the home side. Well, Arsenal have lost 4 games in a row. This would be a huge win for them. They haven't lost 5 in a row since March 1977, which is 41 years ago. Here's Rodriguez. Well defended by Mustafi. And then there's a coming together between Chambers and Halkanoglu. And it's going to be a free kick to AC Milan from a promising position, so a chance for them to get back in, but Arsenal have it now. Last time AC Milan lost a game in any competition was 2 days before Christmas against Atalanta in Serie A by 2-0. 13 games since then without him suffering any kind of defeat. And here's Ramsey for Arsenal, who has been out for a couple of games with injury, but is fit again now. Wilshere goes down for a free kick. Meanwhile, there's an AC Milan player stricken on the far side. It's Davide Calabria, a young right fullback. Just got involved there and twisted his knee a little bit as he lunged for the ball under pressure from Mkhitaryan. Let's hope he's okay. Wilshere will be. And when we do restart, it'll be with an Arsenal free kick. Calabria recently scored his first ever senior goal in a 2-0 win against Roma towards the back end of last month. Painful blow on the right knee, but hopefully the magic spray will do its job. Let's have another look at this goal. They gave the ball away initially, Milan. Ozil picked out Mkhitaryan, who has lashed it via a deflection into the net. First goal for Arsenal for their former Manchester United player. Here's Koscielny, now Kolasinac. Certainly look better than they have done in recent weeks, Arsenal. This is Welbeck. Still in play. Welbeck's gone down injured now. Kolasinac finds him. Welbeck suddenly fit again. Tries to find Wilshere. It's cut out by Romagnoli. That'll be a free kick to AC Milan. Granit Xhaka, the culprit, and Suso the victim. It's played by Kolasinac there to find Welbeck, who couldn't pick out Wilshere. We're almost 20 minutes into the game. The Gunners leading against Gattuso's men. Since they conceded that goal, AC Milan haven't really come within sight of the Arsenal penalty area yet. Here's Rodriguez though, finding Calhanoglu. Romagnoli. Bonucci, but he's given it away. AC Milan have it back swiftly. Rodriguez. Romagnoli. The most defensive-minded of those three across the centre. Both teams playing 4-3-3 today. Arsenal tend to drop deeper and leave Welbeck on front when they're defending, which they are now. The long ball is too long for Hakan Calhanoglu. Leverkusen man looking to get on the end of that long ball. Bounce behind. So with the cross. The Arsenal fans who came into this arena with a huge amount of optimism are enjoying themselves at the moment. Team a goal to the good, and currently not really under any great threat of seeing that lead erased. Ramsey's been caught late there by Rodriguez, or rather Ozil I should say. Well, he's certainly under pressure, Arsene Wenger. Over the club and 22 years. He's won doubles domestically. He's never won a European crown. Closest he came was in the finals of 2000 in the old UEFA Cup and 2006 in the Champions League when they were beaten on both occasions. This is their first campaign in the lesser competition since that 2000 final defeat by Galatasaray on penalties in Copenhagen. Here's Xhaka, Mkhitaryan, sliding challenge by Biglia. Calabria loses it, Mkhitaryan has it again. This is Kolasinac, trying to sort his feet out, still has it. The Bosnian, but not for long. There's another player down injured. He's going to be put out of play so that he can receive treatment. Gattuso, as you'd expect, if you remember him as a player, you'll know that he's a fiery character who's unlikely to sit back in his seat in the dugout. Davide Calabria is the player who again has picked up an injury. He's only just recovered from an ankle knock or a knee problem a moment ago, and he's on the deck again. Looks like the same problem to me. Club man, the fullback who can fill in on the left if necessary. Powerful knock to the side of the knee. Wonders whether he'll be able to continue. There are substitutes warming up. He's going to be okay. Neither goalkeeper has had a save to make yet. The only effort on target is the one that separates the two teams. With Donnarumma deceived by a big deflection off Bonucci. Rodriguez has given it away to Welbeck. Here's Ozil. Mkhitaryan, Ramsey. Mkhitaryan again forward towards Jack Wilshere. Tries to tee up Ozil. Kessié takes it away from him though. There might be a break on here for the home side. Here's Çalhanoğlu coming forward with purpose. Just forces Suso to scamper back a little. He's got a man out wide if he wants him. It's low in by Calabria, away by Ramsey. Here's Welbeck. Mkhitaryan's lost it. Here's Suso again. Rodriguez. 25 minutes gone. AC Milan 0, Arsenal 1 in the Giuseppe Meazza Stadium in this city of style and swagger. Haven't seen too much of that from AC Milan yet, it's fair to say. There's Kessié. Romagnoli. Over the top for Rodriguez, who's got some space here down the flank. It's infield. Finds Bonaventura, who's caught in possession. And Ozil will bring it away for Arsenal. Wilshere somehow finds Ozil. This is Mkhitaryan. With an important challenge after Mkhitaryan rather showed too much of it to him, and suddenly Bonaventura's coming forward and he's found Çalhanoğlu for AC Milan onto that right foot. Oh, he's trying to cut it back to Giacomo Bonaventura, but he got it all wrong. Instead it's with Jack Wilshere, who finds Callum Chambers. It's been an engrossing affair. Either side really on top. Arsenal getting the slice of luck perhaps with the goal. There's Mustafi finding Chambers, who's playing as a right back. He's normally a left-sided full back, but the absence of Bellerin has meant that Chambers has had to adapt. Scamper to prevent the ball going out of play, and he did that very well. Or did he? Aaron Ramsey thinks it's a corner kick. What is the verdict? The officials are having a look at it, and I think Clement Turpin, the French referee, has signalled that the ball might have sneaked across the line. Oh, it did, yes. Ramsey was right, and he's got a corner. Fans booing, but it was a correct decision. It's Arsenal's first corner of the game. Here's Mkhitaryan, now finding Ozil. Ramsey scored the winning goal in the FA Cup final against Chelsea last season. And he is again the Welsh international. It's a clever ball into Wilshere. Tries to get to the byline. Bonucci knocks it behind, and Arsenal have a second corner swiftly after their first. The pressure here from the visitors. Mkhitaryan's got Koscielny and Mustafi perhaps to try and pick out. Doesn't pick out either of them or anyone else for that matter. Rodriguez wants to keep the ball in and counter-attack for AC Milan. And now Kessié. Bonucci again up towards Bonaventura. Mustafi gets his head to it. Filio finds Rodriguez. Neat in midfield from AC Milan. Bonaventura with an excellent ball forward. Here's Suso. Curls it in. Too close to Ospina, who elects to punch, and the follow-up volley is wide. Hit by Giacomo Bonaventura on the full with Ospina down injured. Collision there between him and his teammate Shkodran Mustafi. And it was worth a hit from Bonaventura, difficult chance, and as you can see from that angle it wasn't really very close. Oof, the two Arsenal players landed heavily together there on the deck. So with the initial cross, it's the closest AC Milan have come to unsettling Arsenal since the visitors took the lead. A lengthy stoppage with Shkodran Mustafi. Still prone on the deck. And Holding is among those warming up for Arsene Wenger's men, centre-half. Well, this could be a massive result for Arsenal. This is never an easy place to come for any team. Away goals are like gold dust in this competition, as we know. Only ever in Milan. It was 10 years ago. They won 2-0 on that occasion. They settled for 1-0 here, but there's a long way to go. Here's Rodriguez. AC Milan's third team match unbeaten, run in danger. Arsenal prior to this, other than in Europe, had not been playing well away from home. Lost 5 of their last 6. Including, well, 5 of the last 6 if you count Wembley as an away game against Manchester City. Otherwise it's 4 from 5 that they've lost away from the Arsenal stadium. Here's Mustafi. Now Chambers. This is Mkhitaryan. Xhaka. Kolasinac. The ball so much better than they have done in recent games. As soon as I say that, of course, they waste it. Mustafi was the guilty party on that occasion. Comfortable with their 1-goal lead. They've defended well so far. Not that AC Milan have thrown an awful lot at them, really. Haven't really got Cutrone into the game. Alcanoglu's had bits and pieces, but no more. And we saw Romagnoli almost losing it there. Arsenal 13 minutes from a half-time lead. Casually dressed Gattuso directs operations from the dugout. Here's Koscielny. Xhaka. Brazil. Bagikan down the flank but ignored. Xhaka. not very comfortable for Arsenal at the moment. Allaying their recent woes. There's Chambers. Well, there's a slip there, but not a costly one from Ramsey. Here's Wiltshire. There's on the ball again. Wiltshire. Belia was strong. Halkanoglu forward towards Cutrone, who slips in the race for the ball with Laurent Koscielny, allowing the Frenchman to win that particular battle. Here's Mkhitaryan, finding Danny Welbeck, who, in the absence of Aubameyang and Lacazette, leads the line for Arsenal. Here he is on the ball now. He's gone down, but nothing's been given. To AC Milan for a foul by Laurent Koscielny. Going through the back of Patrick Cutrone, the 20-year-old one-club man who joined AC Milan at the age of 8. Here's Halkanoglu trying to poke it forward. He's managed to come away with the ball. And then he's brought down. Now this is potentially a very, very dangerous situation for Arsenal. Ramsey with the foul. And Milan have any number of players who are very, very good from this sort of distance. It was Halkanoglu who played the ball in. Clumsy foul by Aaron Ramsey, who will take charge. Halkanoglu will be contenders, I'm sure. Suso is also standing over the ball. It's a fair way out. Halkanoglu does have this wonderful right foot ability to convert these kind of free kick opportunities. There'll be some effort if he scores from here, if indeed he opts to shoot. And instead it's curled in, and it's nodded behind solidly by Granit Xhaka. A bit too far out perhaps for Calhanoglu. They went for the cross, Arsenal dealt with it. Here's Suso, Rodriguez, away by Mustafi, and clearance completed by Henrik Mkhitaryan. Less than 9 minutes to go to half-time in the Giuseppe Meazza Stadium in Milan. Arsenal had such a wretched fortnight. Finally, maybe seeing a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. Here's Rodriguez, though, for Milan. Forward by Halkanoglu towards Cutrone. Good covering header by Mustafi. Ventura is always swerving away from danger rather than towards it from Arsenal's point of view. The curl on it, but Spina and Mustafi were always happy that that was drifting away. Well, there is a school of thought that Arsene Wenger's illustrious deeds with Arsenal in the past make him a near unmovable figure in the club, and there are others who equally feel that perhaps the great man's time has come and that they need new blood. Nothing to complain about at the moment for Arsenal supporters, though. Here's Kessié. A foul by Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan claims he was knocked in the face there. The home fans are not very happy. I don't think there was very much in it at all. Kessié puts his arm up, but I think the Ivorian defensive midfield player is understandably not terribly impressed with Mkhitaryan there, nor is the referee. Leonardo Bonucci, who won multiple silverware with Juventus, 6 Serie A titles, and 2 appearances in Champions League finals, although finals on both occasions in which Juve were vanquished. AC Milan play Juventus in Serie A in a few weeks, the runaway leaders. Went through, of course, in the Champions League, having beaten Arsenal's arch-rivals Tottenham yesterday at Wembley Stadium, which I'm sure the Arsenal fans making their way to Italy would have enjoyed enormously. It's not an Arsenal win. The next best thing they like is a Tottenham defeat. Here's Wilshere. He's played well in midfield, Jack Wilshere. This is Kolasinac. Goes for the return and finds Wilshere again. Here's Ozil. This is promising for Arsenal. Callum Chambers swerves it in towards Welbeck, only half cleared, and then nodded behind by Calabria. It's a good build-up by Arsenal. Callum Chambers cross deflected off Rodriguez and then flicked behind by Calabria. The corner's been taken short. Mkhitaryan header away, this time by Cutrone. Back in it comes, but Koscielny can't get a touch. And with 5 minutes to go, Arsenal look the more likely team to score before half-time. Counter, that's a good ball by Rodriguez. He was looking for Cutrone, he was alive to the possibility, but Ospina equally, the Colombian World Cup goalkeeper, was out sharply. Interesting to see whether Arsene Wenger decides to use Ospina in the forthcoming Premier League game against Watford on Sunday, because Czech made a couple of errors in the defeat against Brighton, whereas Ospina in this competition. Here's Granit Xhaka. There's Ozil. Mkhitaryan. Ozil again. Now Welbeck. Chambers! It's a good strike and it was fisted away by Donnarumma. Callum Chambers hasn't scored for getting on 2 years. He hit that really well. It was a good save by the teenage goalkeeper. It's been a really good first half by Arsenal. Here's Suso. Away this time by Koscielny. Just what the Arsenal fans would have wanted after a wretched sequence of results, their worst run of defeat since 2002. Here's Welbeck, and now Henrik Mkhitaryan, back to Danny Welbeck. Welbeck into the box, wants to shoot. Welbeck! Donnarumma makes the save. Second time the young goalkeeper's been called into action in the last minute. Well, this was the first one. Chambers with a fierce shot. It was at a decent height for the keeper, and then this one fairly routine as well for Donnarumma, who only turned 19 on the 25th of February. He's already played 110 games prior to tonight for AC Milan, and not yet out of his teenage years. Here's Biglia. I think Gennaro Gattuso will be revving up for a bit of a tongue lashing at half-time, because his team, so successful lately domestically, have underperformed so far tonight, really. I can't think of too many moments where Ospina's had any panic at all. There's Bonaventura. Good support from Rodriguez. Milan have a late corner. Plenty of corners in the first half. Not able to make anything of them yet. Delivers. Ospina lost sight of the ball, and Bonucci ended up in the back of the net, having very narrowly failed to connect with the ball. Doesn't look particularly solid on crosses, Ospina. And Bonucci couldn't quite get there. Just couldn't avert his header on target, the Milan skipper. Scored his first goal recently in Milan colours, Bonucci. In a January victory over Crotone. Not renowned as a goal scorer, of course, but well, he almost got there ahead of the Arsenal goal. Well, he did get in front of the Arsenal goalkeeper, but couldn't direct his effort on target. There's been a few stoppages, so we may have a couple of minutes added on by the French referee at the end of the opening half. Here's Rodriguez. To switch it, but easy header clear for Kolasinac, but he's really succeeded in finding Biglia. Here's Suso. Still has it. No foul. Oh, yes, the referee, the reason he didn't give the foul, he was trying to play advantage when it didn't accrue. Aaron Ramsey is penalised. Block on Suso. A set-piece opportunity close to half-time for the home team. Suso standing over the ball. Arsene Wenger looking concerned. Again, it's one which would be difficult, you'd think, to score from direct. The 24-year-old Spaniard has his eyes on it. Also, there is Calhanoglu, who's a right-footer, so the less likely taker from this position. Suso goes for goal. The wall did its job well. Away by Wilshere, back in by Biglia. It was missed by Ramsey, but he'll clear it this time. And now Welbeck has it. There might be a counter here for Arsenal. Welbeck on his way. It's a useful looking ball. Mkhitaryan! Chance for two! Oh, flicks over the bar. AC Milan very, very relieved that they're not 2-0 down. Great break by Welbeck. Managed to squeeze his pass through. Mkhitaryan was onside. Took his time. Donnarumma wouldn't have got anywhere near it, but it was a shot which brushed against the crossbar. And Arsenal could so easily there have made it 2-0. 4 minutes have been added on at the end of the opening half, mainly because of injuries to various players. Flicked away by Koscielny towards Wilshere. Wilshere's got in a tangle and lost it. Here's Bonaventura. Goes back past Jack Wilshere and finds Calhanoglu. Bonaventura again. Danger here for Arsenal right at the end. Good defending by Mustafi. Bonaventura still has it. Finally it's away by Ramsey to Xhaka. It's a bit careless from the Swiss international. Here's Calhanoglu. Suso. Onto his left foot, wants to shoot. Shot is not accurate though. More panic for Arsenal at the end of the half. Suso's eventual shot not good enough, and Ospina hardly needing to move. I think Arsenal overall have been good value for their lead. To be done still, but well, any kind of win would be dreamland for them. Even a draw with an away goal would be a decent result. Not too many people expected Arsenal to get through this tie, given the respective fortunes of the two teams recently, but they've played extremely well so far. We're in the final minute of added on time. There's Koscielny. Mustafi. Towards Chambers, who can't quite stretch. Gattuso's half-time talk might just be a little bit fiery. Slipped by Cutrone, not for the first time. Might need to change his boots at the interval. Away by Chambers. Nice little flick by Ramsey for Welbeck. Here's Ozil. Will Arsenal get one last chance? Aaron Ramsey! 2-0 to Arsenal! What a blow that is for AC Milan! They hadn't conceded for 6 games before tonight. They've now conceded 2 in the first half and are in big, big trouble. His face says it all. Aaron Ramsey's face, pure joy. He took it beautifully. He was onside. It was a really good ball by Ozil. He was very calm as he took it past a goalkeeper who's not used to seeing the ball go past him. But it was a lovely finish by Aaron Ramsey. And Arsenal, for whom people were writing obituaries this morning, well, they're 2-0 up at the Giuseppe Meazza against AC Milan. Who would have predicted this? Don't think AC Milan can complain. Arsenal have been the better team. And at half-time, they have a What they've produced in the last 4 matches, it was an excellent display by Arsenal. And they protect goals by Henrik Mkhitaryan on 15 minutes and Aaron Ramsey in stoppage time at the end of the first half, looking to take a handsome lead back to London for the second leg next week. An AC Milan goal could change things considerably, particularly if it comes early in the second half though, and Arsenal will probably be aware that surely the home side won't be as poor as they were in the first half, with their Europa League survival hanging rather precariously at the moment. Both of these teams will see this competition as their most likely route back into the Champions League, so there's a lot at stake. Here's Ramsey, who got the second goal so coolly, just taking it round Donnarumma, putting it into an empty net, with Lucas Piglia vainly appealing for offside. Crowd are still up for it. In terms of the home fans, the Arsenal fans are probably stunned rather than anything else. They've seen some really woeful performances by their team of late, but that was the best 45 minutes they've produced for a long time. Here's Kessié for AC Milan, finding Bonucci, whose deflection took Mkhitaryan's shot into the net on 15 minutes. It's just gone out of play. It's going to be an AC Milan throw. Xhaka was the man who allowed the ball to cross the line. Arsenal being urged to get the ball back in quickly, and Kessié and Xhaka just having a little face-to-face argument there. The referee Clement Turpin has stepped in to tell Xhaka to just calm it down, and that looks like a final warning from the French referee. Xhaka, a man who was sent off 3 times last season in Arsenal and Swiss colours. Suso with the ball in. Well, Ospina hasn't really come under very much threat. He's looked slightly vulnerable from crosses. Other than that, he hasn't had very much to deal with. Gennaro Gattuso will be hoping that he's rather busier in the second half. There's Kolasinac for Arsenal. 3rd goal for them. Goodness only knows what delirium that would spark among the visiting fans. Haven't seen any Wenger out banners yet. We're saying Wenger in at the moment with the score the way it is. Here's Mustafi. They look comfortable on the ball, Arsenal. Here's Ramsey. He scored a hat-trick on his last appearance for Arsenal in a 5-1 win against Everton at home. He's amongst the goals today. This one arguably even more precious than all those 3 put together. Poor clearance and a chance for Welbeck! Oh, and it just wouldn't go in for him. He came together with Donnarumma and the ball could have gone absolutely anywhere. Fortunately for Milan, it did not go in the back of the net. It's a terrible clearance by Kessié. I don't know what he was trying to do. Welbeck did well to get there first. He didn't know anything about it. And as he hoped the net would bulge, the home fans were massively grateful that it didn't. It could easily be 3-0, and that was very careless by Kessié in centre midfield for AC Milan. Didn't play at the weekend, of course, as the Italian fixtures were postponed as a mark of respect to the late Davide Astori, who was remembered fondly and respectfully by the crowd prior to kick-off. Not an easy week, it has to be said, for anyone involved in Italian football. Astori was a much-loved figure, member of the national team, captain of Fiorentina, and of course a former AC Milan youth team player. continue. Here's Bonucci knocking it forward, away by Mustafi. Not very far. This is Halkanoglu, poor ball intercepted by Aaron Ramsey. But it's not a good clearance by him, and Rodriguez will keep it alive far side. Here's Bonaventura, wants to shoot. Well, it's harmless for Ospina, but at least it is an effort on target from AC Milan. We haven't seen very many of those tonight. They conceded for the first time in 6 games. The last time they conceded before Mkhitaryan's goal was actually a Gianluigi Donnarumma own goal against Udinese. And when that first goal went in, it was 569 minutes after that own goal in Serie A. Here's Calabria. What they need is a goal of their own at the moment, AC Milan, because if they go to London 2-0 down, it'll be a very tall order. All won by Biglia at the feet of Kolasinac, who the home crowd felt was being a little overzealous. In the top 3 in Serie A since 2012. They haven't reached a European final since they won the Champions League for the last time in 2007. We're on the attack here. It was a good chance, and it was wasted by Giacomo Bonaventura. Nicely set up with the ball driven in from the right-hand side by Calabria. Little dummy from Cutrone. It was a wasteful swipe by Bonaventura. And Gennaro Gattuso remains a very worried man. Here's Wilshere for Arsenal, who was terrific in the first half. Here's Kessié. Home crowd sense something might be on here as the Rossoneri drive forward. It's Calabria under pressure from Granit Xhaka. The ball's gone out of play. Fair to say that Xhaka is not the home crowd's best mate at the moment, having had that argument earlier with Kessié and been accused of time wasting by the Milanese supporters. I don't think there was anything wrong with that challenge, to be fair. Here is Xhaka. Now Wilshere. Ozil, who set up the second goal, trying to get Welbeck away. Lovely move by Arsenal for that second goal, involving Welbeck and Ozil and Mkhitaryan and ultimately Ramsey. Ozil's beautiful pass set him through. 8 minutes gone, second half, no change in the scoreline. Another poor piece of play by Milan, who's certainly been hugely wasteful in possession tonight. How long it'll be before Gattuso thinks about bringing on maybe Andre Silva or Fabio Borini, both of whom have proven goal-scoring records. Again, it's a mistake. The crowd are getting a little frustrated, the Italians here. Arsenal try and get forward. It's picked up by Romagnoli. Back to Donnarumma. There's Biglia. Now Kessié. Tackled by Kolasinac, who's come in for some personal criticism lately. The big Bosnian left back, but he's had quite a good night tonight. Popped up with crucial goals in this campaign as well. Kolasinac, he scored an equalising goal against Köln on match day 1 back in September, and also of course netted crucially just after half-time against Ostersunds 2 weeks ago. Gattuso, it's fair to say, he's not a happy man. December the 23rd, the last time AC Milan lost a game of football in any competition. is Suso. Onto his left foot. With a space out wide, there's an overlap too. It's a deflected shot similar to the one that Mkhitaryan had, but this one's not gone in. Up and over the crossbar, but via a deflection, a corner, and good defending by Callum Chambers. Arsenal facing a little bit of pressure here for the first time in the second half. For the return, it's nodded away from Wilshere by Kessié. He's worked hard up front. Danny Welbeck, he's been alive to many opportunities. He almost got a scruffy, but it would have been very welcome. Good third goal for Arsenal. It's the closest we've come to a goal in this second half. Here's Mustafi. Chambers on the overlap, back inside to Ozil. Also controlling the tempo of the game at the moment. Here's Wilshere. He's lost it though in midfield. And here's Kessié trying to get forward. Wilshere getting back though and atoning for his earlier error. It's Chambers who produced a good save from Donnarumma with a shot in the first half. Here's Wilshere. Kolasinac goes for the 1-2. Kolasinac onto it. He's just put his foot under the ball and scooped it too high. Ricardo Rodriguez, the Swiss international fullback with a Spanish father and a Chilean mother. Here's Halkanoglu. Milan have created little or nothing in this second half. Can they change that here? Not with a strike like that. Wasteful and high by Bonaventura. Second time he's hit one quite a way off target from distance. Well, looks like the long run of unbeaten matches might be about to come to an end. But even a goal for AC Milan and a 2-1 defeat would be preferable to the situation they're in at the moment, of course. Had almost an hour. Ball appeals against Kolasinac, the referee says it was. And it's going to be a booking for the Bosnian. To the delight of the home crowd, who haven't really taken them to their hearts this evening. I'm sure that is a deliberate attempt to stop the ball getting through. Come under further pressure from the free kick. It's gone short to Romagnoli. There's Halkanoglu. Kessié! And there was a vital touch on the way through. That, I think, has gone for a corner. Ospina did his best to try and prevent it crossing the line. Flicked in by Calhanoglu, and it was a vital touch by Laurent Koscielny. It's a corner kick to AC Milan. Good header by Koscielny away. And then Welbeck blocking the follow-up effort, which was hit by Calhanoglu. There's an Arsenal player down injured, and it's Kolasinac, who the crowd are certainly unhappy with generally. He's just been booked for a deliberate handball, and we're going to see the introduction of Ainsley Maitland-Niles in just a moment. Versatile player who can slot in at wing-back, full-back, midfield. I think if Kolasinac is unable to continue, Maitland-Niles would be the replacement at full-back. Who last year won a Under-20 World Cup with England, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. He joined Arsenal at the age of 6. And I think it is going to be Kolasinac to go off. Fair to say, without the best wishes of the home crowd. We're even more annoyed by the slow nature of his trudge off the pitch. Played in every game in this Europa League campaign. Arsenal topping their group in front of Bata, Borisov and Crvena Zvezda. AC Milan were also group winners. AEK and Austria Wien, who they thrashed 5-1 home and away. Nothing like that here today. Here's Mkhitaryan. Franck Kessié last. He made his international debut for the Ivory Coast at the age of 17. Hawk play, there was an infringement as Welbeck looked to get forward. There's Calabria. Bonucci. Fans haven't stopped urging their team. They need a goal desperately, with over 18 minutes of the second half already gone. Forward by Bonucci, and it's going to be a free kick. Mustafi was hauled over in the race to the ball there. Substitute who brought Mustafi crashing down. Kalinic is another who knows a fair bit about English football. He used to play for Blackburn. He's on loan from Fiorentina, who has scored 4 goals this season, but not managed one in the last 11 games. This would be a good time for Kalinic to put that right, with Milan in desperate need of a foothold in this tie. Koscielny swings it away. It's intercepted by Rodriguez. Here's Bilia. Challenge by Mkhitaryan. Kessié is fouled by Xhaka. There's Bilia. Frustration grows for the home fans, but they've got an overlap here. But Rodriguez can't keep the ball in, so it will come to nothing. Rodriguez got goals in the group stage against Austria Wien and in the 3-0 win at Ludogorets in the round of 32. Throw from Callum Chambers. That's a silly way to concede possession. There's Bonaventura. Rodriguez with the low ball in, cleared by Maitland-Niles. Finding Kessier. Kessier's strong burst through midfield. And a poor ball. He's given away the ball far too often for Gattuso's liking. Welbeck chasing. He's offside. There was a correct one by the assistant on the far side. Coming up to the three-quarter mark in the game. Ball in towards Kalinic by Rodriguez. Slithered across by Cutrone. Here's Rodriguez again. Good to take on Chambers. Bonaventura. Romagnoli. Possession from AC Milan, but no real territorial gain as yet. Kessier. Suso. Nice turn by the Spaniard. He's trying to get past Maitland-Niles, which he's done, but Maitland-Niles eventually got a foot in to block it. Corner. We are at the midway point in the second half. The game three-quarters gone. Arsenal still in the box seat, but facing a corner here. Over away is by Mustafi, and it's met by Rodriguez. And the left foot volley is wide. And he's scored the odd goal in this campaign, the Swiss international. He's got a lovely left foot on him, but he didn't really execute it to the fullest extent there. Meanwhile, we're going to see another substitution for AC Milan. Cutrone is going off, and he's been replaced by André Silva, the Portuguese striker, who's got 6 goals in 8 games in this Europa League campaign. He's the joint second top scorer behind Aritz Aduriz of Athletic Bilbao, who's got 7. Scored 4 in the group stage, and he's got 12 goals overall this season. Here's Mustafi. Ramsey, oof, that's careless. Mustafi has got Ramsey out of jail there. Ozil finding Wilshere. Now Mkhitaryan. Ozil again. Measures his cross, doesn't find Wilshere. Away by Bonucci. Xhaka intercepts. Here's Ramsey towards Welbeck. Rodriguez has just about managed to shepherd that back to his goalkeeper. The hard-working Welbeck looking for any slips. Here's Bonucci. Well, it's getting a bit desperate now for AC Milan. Suso. Calabria. Good cover by Maitland-Niles. He's done extremely well there, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. He's had 2 moments where he's snuffed out potential danger very well since coming on as a sub. He even managed to win a goal kick there. Still not looking like cutting the arrears, AC Milan. They would have to go to London and get a 2-0 win just to send the tie into extra time. Arsenal won 2-0 last time they won here in the Champions League round of 16 in 2008. Arsenal in the last 7 European campaigns have gone out at this stage, be it this competition or the Champions League. Chance for AC Milan, good cross but headed away well by Koscielny. Oh, there's a foot up there, and the referee's going to produce a yellow card. More importantly, perhaps, Aaron Ramsey has gifted AC Milan a free kick in a useful position with less than 20 minutes left of normal time. Well, a goal for AC Milan here really would set the cat amongst the pigeons. Just came down onto the foot of Lucas Biglia, and a yellow card was the result for Aaron Ramsey, who joins Kolasinac, who's since gone off in the referee's book. Spina has to organise a defensive wall. It's a pretty inviting position, maybe for the likes of Calhanoglu or Bonaventura, who's had a couple of shots from distance but hasn't got either of them on target. Suso is also there, so there are plenty of options for AC Milan. This could be a big moment in the tie. It's a weak effort, but the ball quite easily blocked. Oh, and then given away by Arsenal. Kessié into the box, it's still not clear. Chambers with a rather better clearance this time than the last. Kessié wasteful with the cross, having been gifted the possession by Callum Chambers. Back come AC Milan, poor ball. And that really rather sums up their frustration at the moment. They can't get Andre Silva on the ball. Bonucci's long ball goes behind. Valuable seconds are eaten up, and Arsene Wenger, well, will enjoy the post-match press conference rather more if this scoreline remains the same than he has done the last few. Here's Kessié. It's a poor game for Milan, it has to be said, in midfield. Finds Calabria. And again, the home fans begin to murmur their discontent because Milan are simply not making the most of these situations that they find themselves in. This was the free kick by Bonaventura. He slipped as he took it, and it ended up as a fairly lame effort, which the wall blocked comfortably. 17 minutes to go. It's a scoreline that few would have predicted this morning, given the contrasting fortunes of the two clubs coming into this particular tie. But if Arsenal can take a 2-0 lead to London, you'd probably put your money on them to come through into the quarter-finals. Kessié has lost it again. Here's Xhaka. Ospina, all in orange, has barely been tested tonight, which I think would surprise even him coming to a place like this, although Koscielny's then gifted possession to Gennaro Gattuso's men. There's Biglia under pressure from Wilshere. Bonucci. And the ball looks a bit long. There's cover from Mustafi. Here's Koscielny. Maitland-Niles. Oh, it's gone out of play. Maybe a few jitters creeping into the Arsenal performance. Here's Kessié. He's lost it again. And Koscielny will clear. It looks very much the sort of game now where Arsenal are trying to preserve what they've got rather than extending it. Attempting to make sure that Milan don't take them away from the comfortable position they currently occupy. We've got 15 minutes to go at the Giuseppe Meazza. Forward by Bonucci, good defending by Mustafi, and then by Granit Xhaka. Here's Bonucci again. Romagnoli. a stumble. And here's Silva. Great challenge by Koscielny. Here's Rodriguez. Useful looking cross this time. Ospina's met it with both hands and claimed it. Which hasn't always been the case tonight. It was aimed in towards Kalinic. And suddenly Arsenal might be on a counter-attack here with Henrik Mkhitaryan. Not a very good cross from the far side. Ramsey will do his best to try and keep it alive, but he just clipped his man. Calabria goes down, it's a free kick. Just got a flick there, as you could see. But they won't mind that, Arsenal. The ball's up the right end of the pitch from their perspective. Here's Kessié. Suso. Maitland-Niles gets there ahead of Calabria and does really well. Mesut Ozil. Oh, he gets in a bit of a tangle, but has got away with it. Maitland-Niles has been outstanding since he came on to replace Kolasinac at left back, I should say. He's really, really been good. Put a foot wrong defensively, he's been excellent. They're chasing with Bonucci. Just about gets there first, finds Donnarumma. Suso. Kessié. Romagnoli. It's Arsenal fans you can hear now singing in the Milanese night. Not a cold night by any means for the Arsenal fans. Certainly you've had a real big freeze and chill around London in the last week or so. Temperatures plunging as low as -5 in the capital. It's about 8 or 9 plus here. Rodriguez, useful looking cross. Maitland-Niles doesn't deal with it. Suso! And he can't even get the ball anywhere near where he wanted to put it. Wasteful from the Spanish striker. This might have gone for a throw rather than even a corner. It might have gone out of play and then back in. Another substitution for Gattuso. He's taken off the defender Davide Calabria and he's brought on Fabio Borini, who's on loan from Sunderland, the bottom club in the second tier of English football at the moment. He's also played for Liverpool, of course, and Chelsea. He's on for the final 11.5 minutes plus stoppage time. Borini scored in the League Cup final for Sunderland against Manchester City a few years ago, which they lost. Here's Kessié. It's very good defending by Koscielny, who's had a terrific game for Arsenal. Kessié for the first time getting into a useful position, but Koscielny's intervention was outstanding. It's a corner to AC Milan as Arsenal prepare to bring on another substitute. Mesut Ozil, whose wonderful pass set up the second goal, is going to make way for Rob Holding, who is a centre-half. As Arsene Wenger looks to hold on to what he's got. Again, the crowd are unhappy with the speed at which Ozil is departing the pitch, and the fourth official's just having a word with him about that. Holding is on. Corner to AC Milan. Arsenal deal with it, but only for a moment, and then the shot by Bonaventura is deflected over the crossbar. Another corner for Arsenal to deal with. AC Milan's 10th of the game. Solid header away by Mustafi. Rodriguez. In it comes again. That's a dangerous looking cross. He did not take a flick off last. Might have been Romagnoli. Seeing an Arsenal goal kick. It's a wicked delivery. Good centre-half did indeed get the last touch. Last 10 minutes at the Giuseppe Meazza. Arsenal 2 goals to the good. Can Milan at least get themselves within a goal? Ball played in from the right-hand side by the substitute Borini. He's on the ball again here. Maitland-Niles does brilliantly again and finds Xhaka, who's had a much better game than he has.